Welcome, viewers and listeners, to the Health Revolution, the program that shows you how to have a life of vibrant well-being. In a world full of noisy health trends, we bring you clarity. In a sea of fads, we reveal the science-backed strategies that truly work. We explore physical strength, emotional resilience, and mental mastery. These are the keys to an enriched life. Join us for inspiring interviews with champions who conquered life's health challenges, fueling your journey. Are you ready to unlock your potential? To live with vitality and purpose? Then join the Health Revolution. I'm your host, Adriana Morrison, health and fitness expert, speaker, and a mom who understands. Let's embark on this transformative quest. Together, we're about to change the game, starting now. The information provided in this show is intended for educational and entertainment purposes only. Viewers should use their own discretion and consult with a healthcare professional for personalized guidance and recommendations. Welcome, everybody, to the Health Revolution. We are so excited you are joining us today. I'm your host, Adriana Morrison, and please remember, no matter which way you're tuning into us, whether you've caught the live broadcast or the on-demand replay, we certainly want to stay connected to you. Please hit the subscribe button so that we can continue moving onward. Now, of course, when it comes to health and wellness, it's not just a physical piece, it's a comprehensive approach to the emotional resilience and the mental mastery that comes with the entire picture. Today, we get to delve into how this affects business and business affects health. We typically see these as two separate entities. What happens when we look at a closer integration and how it helps us move the needle for optimal output? So my guest today, she's an amazing authority to talk about this. So let's get to know her first. Take a look at this. Watch this. Meet Michele Coombs, a visionary business coach and brand strategist dedicated to transforming the world of entrepreneurship. With her innovative Unleash Your Genius business model, Michele empowers business owners and wellness practitioners to confidently and consistently increase their revenue, emphasizing the importance of authenticity and integrity. Michele's unique approach blends modern and ancient systems, helping hundreds of people create personalized action plans for growth with speed and grace. With multiple college degrees and various certifications in human design, spiritual life coaching, yoga, and meditation, Michele's expertise is unparalleled. She's the founder of True You Tribe and a pioneer in bringing the magic of human design to purpose-driven business coaches. Currently, Michele focuses on coaching business women through her online community and private practice, inspiring them to embrace their true selves and achieve their goals. Michele Coombs, I'm excited to have you on the show. How are you? Welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you so much. It's great to be here. I love to talk about this stuff.
And getting right into it, I've always seen business and health separately. So why should let's get into it. Why should we integrate the two?
So it's very, very easy. So I'll give you just like straight to the core, because business requires stamina. You're working long hours, your ego takes some hits, you're doing evening events, if you're networking, if you're speaking, especially, like, your energy has to be consistent. It's got to be on every day. You've got to have your habits together. So anytime that your health takes a hit, especially if you're a solopreneur, your business can take a hit too. So it matters to have those health habits really dialed in, so that you can do what you have to do for the business.
So how did you get started into this?
It's been a long road. I like to say I came out of the womb hustling. I was one of those kids that I had a job when I was 6 years old, and I love to work. What can I say? And I had been in the world of entrepreneurship and business coaching, marketing for a few years. And then I started studying human design for my own growth, my own gratification. And then people started asking me about the human design I'd been studying for a few years. And my beautiful friends kept asking me what this thing that I was doing. So I started looking at people's charts and telling them about their human design charts, and realized that there was a burgeoning business model there. So I started to combine the two because my environment has been coaches, entrepreneurs, healers, folks in that realm for so many years. And the human design answers a lot of business questions very, very quickly. And I realized how much time and money I could have saved starting up my business if I had known the answers to some of these questions earlier. So took the human design to my buddies in the entrepreneurship world, and it just worked. So here I am about a year and a half later, still loving what I do.
Can you tell the audience what is human design and why does it matter?
So human design, I call it astrology 2.0, or maybe astrology 5.0 at this point. So it's based on your birth time and location, and we run a chart, and that is about where the similarities end. So where the reason that it matters is that it gives us a really clear picture of who you are, who you were when you were born, who were you born to be. And it's a fixed picture of the core and the center of who you are and how you're built to work, how you're built to move in the world, your health and vitality. You can read that in a human design chart. And it matters because we come into the world and we have well-meaning parents and teachers and churches and friends that tell us who we should be. And usually the things that are strongest in our personality are the things that don't get a great reception socially, especially as kids.
All right, so we lost her for a brief moment. We're going to go ahead and we will wait for her to come on back. And so as that happens, Michele Coombs is a brand strategist, and she's also someone who has delved very heavily into the integration and how we're able to bridge the two together when it comes to understanding personality and business. And one of the things that's important for us to remember is that level of connection to our path and who we were designed to be is meant to be something that we need to take much more attention and clarity to. Oftentimes, as we are moving through, we're in a position where our health is much more ever apparent, that in society that we're able to understand how important it is for us to pay attention to our health. And so this is going to allow us to continue by putting more emphasis on this. This allows us to brainstorm and branch out and see how we can make a better impact on all the things that matter in our lives. So it's not only the importance of putting your best foot forward, but this allows us to change our trajectory. So we're still waiting for Michele to come on back. So if you're just joining us, we're still going to carry on. We are excited to talk a little bit about how business can be impacted and how we're able to really home in on our professional careers, no matter which way that we turn. So for someone like myself, who has been in the health and fitness field for a long period of time, we're talking over 2 decades, this opportunity allows us to really explore outside of the lines. And so in order to continue to move the needle forward, we have to allow and align with what really speaks to us. Oftentimes in society, the health and wellness piece is something that has been long overdue in discussions. And so this is something that we really truly need to we need to understand how this works. And so we're going to see if we can bring her back in, and let's see how this rolls. So in terms of health and wellness, one of the things that is helpful is understanding and putting self-care first. So we're trying to get her back right now, and we'll see how we'll with the technical difficulties, we're still going to bounce right back. So the self-care is top priority when it comes to our health and wellness. And we're used to, as a society, especially as women, we have been in a position where we have put ourselves last historically. This is an issue that isn't something that serves us when we deny the type of person that we are. So the more emphasis with our health is the more important that we are able to prioritize where we're going in life. So trying to get a hold of her right now, and we are communicating. So you can see some of the back end. And a lot of times in life, the comeback story is how you handle things when it comes to the little sidestepping. So as we're waiting for Michele to rejoin us, the self-care is important. So putting that at a higher priority, understanding that we shouldn't wait for anyone to give us permission to have the self-care that we need to implement. It starts with that decision. And oftentimes that decision has to align with the directions that we take professionally, the line of work that we tend to choose with whatever way that we go. So once we implement the self-care, we and she's still trying to come back to us, so we're waiting for her. The self-care is something that once we start doing that, it breaks down into a variety of different ways. So it is the physical and it is the mental piece as well. So we're bringing Michele back on, and sometimes it's technical difficulties, but we are rolling with it.
We're on it.
The transparency of how we deal with plot twist says a lot about how we lean on the process. So welcome back.
Thank you.
Glad to have you. So you were talking about the human design. You were going into how important it is and the individualization and why it matters. So bring us back into your thought process on how we can integrate that with where we are today.
Okay. So it's just it's nice to know, I think, especially as you get to a certain point in life and at least as I've gotten older, I'm worried less about what other people think about me and just really more interested in finding who I am at a root level. And human design is a straight shot. It's a snapshot of everything that is underneath all of the stuff that happens to us in our lives. All of the discipline and all of the social drama and all of those things that make us be not who we really are. But I really believe that the human design is important because it shows you a snapshot. It's a map, it's a compass. So as you go through different parts of life, different health challenges or business challenges, it tells you the best way for you to handle it. One of my mentors said there's a million ways to make $1 million. And I've always liked that because I feel like there's so many different human design charts. Everyone is very unique. So it's how do you build something, build habits, build a home, build a business in a way that is really aligned with you so you can be really happy with it.
Now, I've never heard of human design. I remember going through college. Was this something that you stumbled upon that really struck your fancy in terms of an area that you wanted to delve into just to further your self-development? Was this something that you always saw, that intuition told you this was the path you always wanted to take, but maybe it was never labeled this way? Say more about this.
Thank you. So it was introduced to me actually from one of my healers, a woman that I trust dearly. And one day we were together and she said, "You've got to try human design." And it struck me. And she gave me the name of her coach. And I scheduled a series of sessions with him. And his name was Brian. He's here in the Denver area. And the way that he was able to describe me to me, I was speechless. I was absolutely floored. And if you know me, I'm never speechless. And it was basically, he was able to describe my life experience in words that I had never been able to put together. And I felt a tremendous amount of relief. I felt a tremendous amount of satisfaction, vindication. It's like, no, I'm really meant to be this way. I'm meant to be that way. This is a strength. And it gave me the opportunity to embrace myself and even the things that maybe I've been trying to hide and put away for so long. So that was basically it. I did those 5 sessions with Brian, and I did a lot of self-study for the next year and a half, dove into a year-long mentorship program. That was 2 years ago, and I've just been obsessed. I've just been obsessed ever since. So it's why I made it my business, so I could be obsessed just all day, every day.
So one of the things that I was starting to delve into while we were waiting for you to come on back was the importance of self-care. So as I was tapping into that, I'm curious to now integrate that with what you've just said. So how does human design help with overall self-care that can really make an impact in different areas of your life?
I think there's a couple of different ways. A very easy way is physical health. So human design can tell us, for example, what type of digestion we have. I have it's called a hot digestion. I should really only consume hot foods. I never, ever have to feel guilty for not doing a cold plunge. It would not be good for me. So that feels really good. Anybody who can do a cold plunge, I applaud you. So there are some health aspects you can read. But what I'm finding, and especially with my clients, the ones I've worked with over time, there's an emotional forgiveness, I guess, that happens because we give ourselves more permission to be ourselves. So there's less criticism in the mind, which helps the resilience, which helps focus, which helps, especially when it comes to, my lovely, lovely, lovely entrepreneurs. And we are training junkies. We want to learn everything. There's always a new technique, a new modality, a new training everywhere. And when you know your human design and you can interpret it, then you know what to just leave on the shelf and let go. And it helps break away from this idea that I need to do all things all the time.
What has been the most surprising aspect of human design since you've been studying it and now it's been your profession?
Surprising aspect. I haven't done a chart. So it's called a reading. It's a very esoteric title, but it is a human design reading or a consultation. And I haven't seen a chart yet. And I read for over 200 people last year. And I haven't seen a chart yet where someone says, oh, that doesn't make any sense. Well, I don't understand that. I've heard 100+ times, oh my gosh, I can't believe you just said that. It's such a specific, it's a very technical language. The source material for human design, it's very precise and very technical. So you can really get into the specifics of the human experience. And usually, even if the wording is a little technical and Stygian, you can feel the vibration of the words and the way that it describes a human experience. And so there's things called exaltations and detriments, and that one is not better than the other. So I just tell people that when you have your exaltations, really lean into those. Those are the things that people notice about you. They appreciate you. They're the things you're really good at. And the detriments are just those are the things we need to keep an eye on. And it's usually in the detriments that people really go, oh yeah, I see that. Because those are the things that just give us trouble. So it's this beautiful system where you can see, you asked me what was surprising about it. So back to that. Every chart has been perfect. Every aspect fits together. Everything makes sense. I haven't had a single person that it didn't make sense, that everything fit together so beautifully to form a foundation for their life's work, their purpose, their dharma, however you term you use for that. I was just surprised at how harmonic everyone actually is on the inside.
And we're going to continue this conversation. First, we're going to take a commercial break. Stay put. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back after this.
Hello, ambitious achievers. Welcome back to Fit Bites with Adriana. Today, we're exploring how improving our health can lead to a thriving professional life. So let's dive in. First up, prioritize sleep. A well-rested mind is more focused, creative, and productive. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep to ensure you're ready to tackle the day's challenges. Next, let's talk about nutrition. Fuel your body with balanced meals that include lean proteins, whole grains, and plenty of fruits and vegetables. Eating well not only boosts energy levels, but also improves concentration and decision-making skills. Now, don't forget about hydration. Staying hydrated keeps your mind sharp and helps you stay alert throughout the day. And keep that water bottle near you at your desk and aim for at least 8 glasses a day. Now, on to exercise. Regular physical activity increases blood flow to the brain, enhancing cognitive function and reducing stress. Even a quick walk during lunch can make a big difference. And speaking of stress, managing it is key. Incorporating stress-reducing techniques like deep breathing, meditation, or yoga into your routine. A calm mind is more capable of handling work pressures. And lastly, take breaks. Short breaks throughout the day can prevent burnout and boost creativity. Step away from your desk, stretch, or do a quick mindfulness exercise. Now, by taking care of our health, we set ourselves up for success in our professional lives. So let's commit to these habits and watch our careers soar. Now, stay tuned for more Fit Bites, and here's to a healthier, more prosperous you.
Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversations. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
Welcome back to the Health Revolution. Welcome back, everybody. My guest today is Michele Coombs, visionary business coach and brand strategist. And we've been talking about human design and how this integrates in terms of business growth, in terms of our profession. And Michele, definitely before the break, you were talking about the different types of, you were talking about the benefits of integrating this and giving a clear picture. So we did talk prior to being on air, and I'm curious. I know that you talked about, hey, we could do a reading, and why not? Let's go for it. And I would like to get your thoughts on it and have you take it away.
Sure. Okay. So I'm going to need, it takes about a minute to run a chart. So if you don't mind giving me your info, we can be chatting while that's happening.
Absolutely.
I love doing the live readings because I haven't had a chance to prepare. So I will be seeing your chart fresh for the first time. So
Okay.
it looks a little strange. You have to kind of prepare yourself to see a human design chart. It doesn't look like anything you've ever seen before. And it has, depending on what chart you get, which website, there's varying amounts of information. But what you're going to see briefly, like the high level, is you're going to see 2 columns of numbers. And you'll recognize the planetary symbols. So there's the sun, there's the moon, there's Venus and Saturn. And then you'll see, and this is the real revelation of human design, is what's called the body graph. And it's a picture that basically charts the map of how your energy flows in your body. What parts of you are activated, what energies are activated, where your energy is more closed and more contained, where your energy is very open. And you want to know where you're open because that's where you're more susceptible to energies from other people. So Adriana, what's your birthday?
Well, my birthday was earlier this month, and by the way, happy birthday,
Yay.
because I know today's your birthday.
Thank
Happy
you.
birthday.
I'm already in love with 45. What can I say?
My birthday is March 3rd. So this
Happy
was,
birthday.
yes,
And what
thank
year?
you. 73. So I'm 51 for viewers who are newer to the show. Of course, the over 40 is something is the crowd nearest to my heart oftentimes.
Awesome. So March 3rd, 73. And what time?
8:38 in the morning.
8:38 a.m. Excellent. This just takes a second here. And where?
State, city, or just where? Or
The city is fine.
Miami.
Miami.
Mhm.
Okay. Can I ask how did you come to Colorado? That seems like quite a reverse.
You know, it Colorado, which is where you and I are both located. It
Mhm.
just really spoke to near and dear to my heart. Never lived west of the Mississippi, and there was a time in my life that I knew that being in the health and wellness space, I just felt that there was an overall calling of Colorado that I didn't realize was there until I knew others who were just thriving in Colorado. And then one day put two and two together and I thought, okay, need to be out here. And so it happened because once my previous marriage came to an end, but we co-parented well, we decided to collectively transfer over here. So we moved, and because of the kids we shared, we wanted to make sure that they were in an area that we felt good about. And so 10 years later, ta-da, you and I are sitting here having this conversation.
I love it. So, okay, so I have your chart here. I have it on my very big screen on the right. So that's what I'm looking at. Excuse me,
Okay.
one moment.
This is exciting.
Okay. So, Adriana, you are what's called a projector. So there are 5 types in human design. And projectors are about 27% of the human population. And projectors are amazing guides. Projectors are all about guiding the energy of the other types. So about 70% of 60 to 70% is called generators. And generators have all the get up and go. So the projector's role in your openness, you have a fair amount of openness, is to help folks with energy to burn guide and direct them in a way that's going to be very healthy for them spiritually and physically and emotionally. And I think that makes perfect sense for what you do. You are you have a lot of really good ideas. You have the ability to you have the money gate. Just so you know, everybody, there is such a thing as chart envy, and everybody wants the money gate. So you have the money gate. And you're very, very strong with routine. It's important for you. It's very important for you to have a routine. So again, like, we can see how this comes together in what it is that you do, which is help other people create their routines, guide their energy.
And just for the record, I just want the audience to know that you didn't know that I was going to say that. You didn't know. We talked about it like as a possibility. I didn't give you a final answer on doing a reading, but I'm like, we're just letting this episode really take flight in all ways possible. Why not? So this was not planned at all. Just want to throw that out there.
Not at all. I was a little surprised, but I'm like, oh, let's do this. So the other thing that I'm noticing, and I kind of guessed this based on what you do, you have a lot of activation in your root center. So in human design, we have 9 energy centers. So they're analogous to to the chakra system. The chakra system is a little bit outdated. Humans now have 9 energy centers instead of 7. And based on your dedication to the body and like the physical world, it makes a lot of sense that you have a lot of activation in that root center. So you have a lot. It's very natural for you to be drawn to things that are physical, that are earthy, and that are really of the body. And then you have do you get sick very often?
No.
Yeah, I was going to say, you don't get sick at all. You have a strong immune system. And you're an agent of transformation. You have the transformation channel, which is what takes that body, that earth energy, and turns it into health and a healthy immune system. So you are literally an agent of transformation.
Yay, earthy.
Yeah, creating habits. Yeah, that mind of yours that mind of yours is pretty active, though. You might want to just keep an eye on that. Make sure it doesn't get away with you, because you have a very active mind, and it could ping pong around a little more than you want it to.
Okay. You got me there. Little, there's some truth behind there. Yes, I will say.
Yes. And so we were talking a little bit earlier about the digestion. Mm-hmm. And it's called the determination in human design, and yours is high, which means that you are going to digest best both food and information in kind of noisy, active environments. You are going to digest your food best, for instance, if you go to a restaurant. It's very busy and bustly, and there's noises and there's people. You could probably study and work really well in a coffee shop. And then if you're taking it, so even if you're cooking, like have some music on, have the TV going, and create an environment that's kind of noisy and bustly. And that would be really good for you, for your digestion.
Huh. Now, I will say that the noise in the background, the music in the background, that's something that has been appealing to me. Restaurant wouldn't have thought that because I would not have thought that on my own.
Yeah, so give it a try. See if you just find yourself more at ease, hungrier when you're in a space that's a little, leave it a little or a lot noisy.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's a good excuse. Go out to dinner.
Okay. My husband will like that.
I figured he would. Yes.
So this is pretty fascinating. Is this similar to, getting a vibe about someone, or is this when you're getting information about someone, is this also intuition per se, or what role does that play in the entire mix of human design?
That is a really good question. So for me, it's a mix. Now, there is a very particular place in the chart that you can look that human design says is 70% of your energy. And this is actually what I train people on. This is your brand. It's the biggest energy that people feel from you. It's your first impression. It's the vibe. It's the thing that people believe about you before you've even opened your mouth. And number one, you can't hide it. You can pretend, you can try, but you can't. So really embracing what that brand is gives you an opportunity to show up every day very authentically, and it removes any static. So people are like, oh, she is exactly who she said she is. So that it's like the key to authenticity. So there are some technical aspects that I look at, and some readers, for instance, Brian, who did my first set of readings, he was very clear. He said, I don't do intuition. I'm not hearing guides. This is just, he was very, very textbook about it. But one of the things, I'm also an Akashic Records practitioner. I do a lot of deep meditation. So I try very hard to be really in tune with my intuition. And I found that it really enhanced my ability to communicate with people about their chart. So I do stick to the source text, but I also will move through a reading in a way that expresses my intuition. So I hope that I'm giving people information that sort of goes beyond the chart, that is helpful, or that's what they need to hear in the moment. But like I said, that's a personal style. Not all human design readers will do that. But one of the fun things about knowing a chart is you're actually pretty intuitive too. You read people very, very well and very quickly. So there's different ways to access intuition, and your human design chart can tell you where your antennas are in your body. Is it psychic? Is it a gut instinct? Is it instinct? Is it physical survival instinct? There are lots of ways to read energy. And once you know your chart, you can start using that information, which is great for, coaches, and especially for coaches and wellness practitioners to know when they're picking up information that it's true. They're not making it up. Because I think a lot of people, especially very intuitive people, pick up information and say, oh, and you convince yourself it's not real, because our society doesn't necessarily value that or believe it when you say, I don't know how I know, I just know.
That's very true. So I'm curious, what is your favorite way or protocol to segue into tapping into this information for the branding piece when you're working with others to have their essence be something that's exuded in all the things that they stand for, the entire branding process in and of itself?
So we start with a couple of very specific aspects. The numbers in black. So if you're looking at your human design chart, you'll have the body graph, which is the picture. You'll have numbers that are in black. Those are called the personality numbers. And that is everything that's on the outside of you. So your branding, your marketing, your communication strategy is all in those numbers in black. And then there's a set of numbers in red. And the numbers in red are called your design numbers. And those are the inner world. That's where you find your health and vitality, your physical body, your spiritual journey, your zone of genius. Those are all in the red numbers. So when we're looking at anything that has to do with communications, we look at those personality numbers. And because I'm a nerd, I always travel with my human design book. So this is the definitive book of human design. It is exactly what it says it is. So what we do is we go to a specific spot in the chart, and then we look at that number. So for instance, in astrology, there are 12 sections in a year, 12 months, 12 signs. In human design, there are 768. So the experience gets very, very, very specific. So when we look at one of the planets or the sun, we'll say personality sun, that's the brand. That's that 70% energy. Wherever that number falls, we go straight to the source text and we read what are the characteristics of that number. And then that gives you the gist of what that vibe is. And like I said, most people, they recognize this. They're like, oh, yeah. They know it about themselves. It's the thing that other people say about them. And they know it as a gift if they've embraced it. So that's the protocol.
So in terms of, the branding piece, this is more of an individualized, like, how do you help those stand out within their profession? And so it sounds like this is a way to really push even further than say standard protocol of how do you like to be represented, or how do you want to represent in your profession. And I'm generally speaking, not just say health and wellness, but just anyone, like an accountant, a realtor, anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it's a combination of three different factors, three different numbers. And since there are 768 of them, the combination of any three is fairly unique and specific. So, for instance, I just did a session with an accountant, and she has this very strong pull towards family and friendships and the values of the stability that relationships can bring. So instead of saying, I'm going to help you get your books right, and I'm going to take away the stress of having to do your own bookkeeping and, fear of taxes and all of that, she can come at it from a place of how having healthy finances helps your relationships and supports your family and supports your peace of mind. So she would have an ad, say she's an ad in a magazine, she would have a family having a picnic and then her picture.
Okay. So very individualistic. We're going to take a quick commercial break.
Okay.
So stick with us. We will be right back before you know it. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back after this. Thank you so much for watching The Health Revolution. Our show is growing, and it's all thanks to viewers like you. No matter how you found us, please hit the subscribe button so we can stay connected and continue to deliver amazing content to you.
Life is so fragile, and we're constantly reminded just how fragile life can be, especially when we or a loved one is told we have cancer. Cancer survivor myself, I can tell you, we still feel very alone in this journey.
There's a study that's been showing that patients who are socially isolated have a worse prognosis, have a worse outcome than patients who are socially interconnected.
Buddies for Life is a non-profit cancer support group for those whose life has been impacted by cancer. Humor, hope, heart, and hugs.
Humor, hope, heart, hugs, and a whole lot of love.
Share this with your friends and family and support this community in every way you can. No one should face cancer alone.
I am a chemo buddy for life.
We are a buddies network.
No one does cancer alone.
Be a buddy.
And we are all here for you as a community of love.
We are chemo buddies for life.
And if you've heard 3 words, you have cancer, for yourself or someone else, you belong with us at Chemo Buddies for Life.
Healing through connections.
And now we want to give special thanks to Biomed Mobile IV for sponsoring the Health Revolution. Biomed Mobile IV is Colorado's top mobile IV therapy service, servicing throughout the state of Colorado. They offer an array of vitamins and above and beyond safety preparation. Biomed Mobile IV, your dedication to health and wellness is exactly what our show is all about. And we thank you for your support. Welcome back to the Health Revolution. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Adriana Morrison. My guest today, Michele Coombs. She is a visionary business coach, branding strategist, and we're talking about using human design for business growth and all that implies. Now, of course, Michele, before the break, we were talking about how intricate and specific human design is so that the branding piece can create a very personalized representation of, say, the person that you're working with, and then also the profession that they stand for. Talk to us about some of the unique benefits of doing so, really taking business promotion and just using your voice in this way to stand out. What are some of the benefits in doing so? Because this is not something that we're used to seeing.
Yes. What I love about it is how fast it is. So not my first business, but my first business this time around was, I'm a yoga and meditation teacher. So back in 2015-16, I wanted to start a yoga brand, and I found some amazing mentorship, amazing business coaches. But even after 6 months, a year, I couldn't tell you who my ideal client was. I didn't know what my brand strategy was. I didn't know what my marketing strategy was. So instead of promoting myself, being on social media, creating content, doing workshops, instead of doing all those things, I found myself completely paralyzed, not knowing who I was talking to or what they wanted or what to say to them. And it was, like I said, my coach was amazing. It wasn't the coaching, it was me just paralyzed for a long time. And that whole time, I'm not getting my message out and I'm not helping people heal. And it's very frustrating. And then fast forward to when I started doing the human design for people, my mentor, Beth Davis, was very keen on using human design for business. She's also a business coach. And she taught us where to find profession, where to find branding, business modeling, marketing, where to find it in a chart. So I just asked myself, okay, if I was going to do this, if I was going to go into human design full time.
And I know we're having technical difficulties today, so stand by. She's going to come on back. So if you are just joining us, we've been speaking with Michele Coombs. She is a visionary business coach and branding strategist. And what I love what we've been talking about today is integrating how important this is to really stand out and utilize your personality traits to really move the needle forward when it comes to business. And oftentimes we think of business as having that professional foot forward, but in all honesty, it allows us to be transparent without having to hide behind any type of elements and fitting into any specific design. So so in this regard, this allows us to really tune into and then trust the process. It allows us to be much more much more candid in ways that allows our personality to shine through. So we are just getting word, and Michelle's going to get back to us momentarily. And of course, in the last segment, you saw how she did the reading, the human design. And what I found fascinating with that is that that we were able to just have a little closer look. And of course, I was filibustering for a second there or two.
I love it.
Filibuster
away.
But
I love it.
But as we had a moment there, I love the fact. So you've actually been guided through this process, and obviously it's elements that it allows you to flourish and work within, within your career so far. I do want to talk about, let's just dive right into True You Human Design. Talk to us a little bit about that. We're going to see if we can pull the slide on up, and we're going to do a couple pieces here and there and everywhere. Talk to us about how the details of how you work with others. What does all this look like to us?
Awesome. So True You Human Design is my company. And what it looks like to begin with is generally what I call a business blueprint reading. And it is 2 hours. And we do a deep, deep dive into that brand strategy, to your marketing message, your kernel of truth, your ideal audience. So we can read your ideal client and what is their pain point. It is right there in your design. And then we look at your ideal business model and put all that together in a very clear and coherent picture of your ideal business in about 2 hours. So if you're in a place where you've been struggling with like I did, who am I talking to? What's their pain point? I don't know my brand strategy. You can do this human design reading that I have created and know all of that information in less than 2 hours. And then
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Keep going.
Yeah. And then from there, I have many, many clients that I work with over a few months. So we take that kernel and then infuse it into the rest of their business. Do they need to start working with a partner? Are they really an entrepreneur? Are they best in an organization? Is a referral strategy really good for them? So over the next few months, we take that information and use it to inform all of the marketing and branding strategy that we create after that.
Now, you do have what's called a True You tribe. Can you say a little bit about that before we go to our next break?
Yes, I'm really excited about the tribe. So one of the things that I saw last year with all of my clients, I mostly work with women. I've had several men. I'm a fan of men, but I just happen to have worked with women mostly, is there just tends to be, and we don't really talk about it, even if you have clients and friends and coaches and colleagues, sometimes there is a really deep sense of being alone. And I just saw it over and over and over, like totally brilliant, talented, skilled women still feeling like I don't have anywhere to go. And the high ticket coaching model, which is great for so many reasons, is unattainable for a lot of people, especially in the beginning as they're getting built up. So I built the True You tribe, where soul meets marketing, as a place for us to come together and get that support in a way that is structured, that is individualized, and to have a place to be around other brilliant women who are doing the same work and have done this before and might have figured out a way to break through. So it's brand new. We're going to launch on March 25th. So if anyone is interested, reach out now. You can go to trueyouhumandesign.com and get more information there. There is also a freebie there on how to build your business. It's called the Human Design Difference, because it doesn't take a lot of human design information to start making a huge difference in your business. So the tribe is where we're bringing together amazing women at a very, very reasonable price point. I wanted it to be accessible, especially so that folks can come in and get the guidance that you need from the beginning.
We're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We're coming right back. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back after this.
Hi, this is Clara Capano, your host for Women Winning Their Way, where we talk about how you can create success all on your terms. Join us Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Limelight Network here on E360 TV.
Welcome back to the Health Revolution. Welcome back, everybody. My guest today, Michele Coombs, visionary business coach, branding strategist. She is the founder of True You Human Design. Michele, where else are you found on the internet, social media? Where are you?
So I have my personal page on Facebook, Michele Ramsden Coombs. That's where most of my content goes these days. But building up the Instagram and the TikTok, and both of those platforms, I'm true.you.human.design. And I go there. I try to go live a little bit every day to talk about the really fast and easy ways you can apply human design to improving your business and making more money.
One more time, let's see if we can pull up your website. And of course, this is where all of your ongoing information, where viewers can tap in to see with the True You Tribe, which is happening March 25th is when you're kicking off.
Yes.
And yes, well, time does absolutely fly. And it's been an interesting birthday for you. And of course, Team Pisces in the house. I've got to
Pisces.
So Michele, thank you so much for your time, your energy, your input, all the nuggets that you're dropping, and how unique this is as a resource for us to grow in terms of our professional health and the pathways we have. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Adriana. It has been a pleasure. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. And for those of you, of course, you're watching, remember, don't forget that our website is thehealthrevolutiontv.com. That's where you can subscribe to our newsletter, find out all the happenings that's happening for our show. You can also share with us show ideas that you would prefer for us to cover, and we will over deliver for you. Don't forget, of course, in the upper left-hand corner of your screen, you're going to see the QR code. If that's easier for you to grab that website, feel free to do so. And then, as always, you can count on us being on E360 TV Tuesdays and Thursdays, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, each and every single week. That is all the time that we have. Thank you so much for joining us. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Thank you for catching the live for Michele's birthday or on the replay, of course. And until next time, we will see you soon. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.